Hi, I am Karen from Karen Clark Creations, an artsy introvert. In this video, I'll be working on Friends Season 1, Episode 11, The One with Mrs. Bing. When Chandler's mom comes to town, he watches her on TV and learns that she has a craving for Kung Pao chicken after being intimate with a man. So here is Kung Pao chicken in a closed takeout box. I love the line, "Please God, don't let it be Kung Pao chicken." And then she's all happy that he clearly has watched the TV show that she was on. I thought about doing a plate of Kung Pao chicken, but since I just painted grilled cheese on a plate, I decided a takeout container would be more fun. I decided to use burnt sienna, Pyrrol, Scarlet, and Indanthrone blue for this painting. I had used those colors in the Marcel painting, and I decided to use them so that two paintings that are nestled together would be harmonious. And they are, even though one is more loosely painted than the other. It brings them together, though I wouldn't necessarily call my painting style loose. It's really not. I decided to go in with the Pyrrol Scarlet, very, very light, and do a light background. Since the takeout container is white, it needed a background. Otherwise, it's going to be just bland and boring. So I started with that color, and I added a little bit of the Pyrrol Scarlet and Indanthrone blue mixed together as a shadow. You will quickly see that I do not like this, and I'm getting a bloom, or I will start getting a bloom up there at the top where the oh my goodness, what are those things called? What are they called? Oh my goodness. Chopsticks. Chopsticks, that's the word. Words are hard sometimes, people. Okay, chopsticks. The top of the chopstick, actually probably right then, when I added a little bit more paint, there was probably just way too much water, and I'm getting a bloom right up there. So, as I was drying it, which you just missed, I decided to add some more water to the background, and I'm going to start splattering the colors that I'm using into the background. I thought, hey, let's embrace this. Let's just make it kind of a mess back there. I have not splattered in any of my paintings so far in the sketchbook, so it was time. It was time for it to happen, because sometimes I just love a good splatter and messy background. So that's what I went with. So as I'm putting the color down, I'm playing with it. I'm not just letting it be. I'm playing with it to try to get the desired effect that I want. So, I dabbed that out a little bit. I smeared around a little bit. Here I just splattered on some Indanthrone blue and then a little bit of burnt sienna. I want all of the colors that I'm using to be in the splatter, so that way that kind of works. Kind of like I was saying how I wanted it to be harmonious with Marcel. I want it to be harmonious with itself as well. I'm not going to introduce a new color here. And then I'm just going to, dab out some of the spots that got on the white box. I'm drying it so that I can't smear it with my hand, and also to try to help get a little more texture, so I can move the paint around and the water around and then quickly dry it so that it doesn't do kind of what I don't want it to do. Watercolor has a mind of its own, and I try to rein it in sometimes. That's probably why I can't really call my style loose. I'm way too much of a control freak to allow it to do whatever it wants. I need control. So other ideas I had for this was tequila shots for when they were all at the Mexican restaurant with Chandler's mom, and Ross gets drunk because he's tired of the PDA from Rachel and Paolo. a stack of romance books, since Mrs. Bing is a romance novelist, an EEG monitor that shows brain waves. Phoebe sings, "You don't have to be awake to be my man. As long as you have brain waves, I'll be there to hold your hand," though she sings it much better than that. She sings that just before she and Monica rush out to the hospital to see the man in a coma. And, they both have a crush on him, and he's in a coma because Monica woo-wooed him. So I was thinking an EEG monitor that shows the brainwaves. And then the last idea I had was a pen, because Rachel writes an erotic novel with typos, and one of those was pens. But I had just painted a pen a few episodes ago, though it was not huge, nor was it throbbing. Such a funny storyline. So great. So anyway, I didn't paint another pen. I went with Kung Pao chicken. I am now adding shadow. And let me tell you, Marcel gave me less of a hard time than this stupid white takeout box. Oh boy. It does come together. Spoiler. It comes together. But I didn't have a great time with it because of the stupid shadows. The one on the side of the box, like where it's folded like an envelope kind of, that looks cool. That looks good. I like that. And in the, in the side that's completely in shadow, it would have looked better if I hadn't tried to add prematurely the lines for the shadow of the chopsticks. I remembered the word this time. If I hadn't done that, it would have been fine. So here I am, I'm just messing with it. I'm thinking, all right, fine. I'm going to try to dab out as much of that color as I can. And it's just going to be messy. It's okay if it's messy. Of course, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking I might need to rescue this with gouache. Thankfully, I didn't really have to. I look at the box over there on my table, the painting, and I like it. I like the messy shadow on it. I think it's interesting, honestly. So while it was giving me heartache, I'm kind of glad it did, because it ended up the way that it did. It's not perfect. It's fun. So then, to kind of make the shadowed box, the side with the shadow, because it's kind of intense, I thought, okay, I need to make the actual shadow on the surface that it's sitting on more intense. But then I don't like that either. So I start messing with that. It's just, this whole thing was kind of a mess when I was working on it. I like it so much better now that it's finished, because my shadow, it looks off there. The top of it, it should have been a different angle, but there wasn't that much of a shadow in my reference photo, so I was kind of winging it, and I think that's the problem. I was winging it, but you know what? I'm looking over at it right now, and it's fine. Why do we struggle with making things perfect so often? Do you do that, or is it, I know it's not just me. I know plenty of people do it, but would that have bothered you in your painting? Okay, so now I'm going to add the chopsticks in, and one of those chopsticks is slightly thicker than the other, but I'm thinking, you know what? These were homemade chopsticks. Someone made these with love, and it is okay that one is bigger than the other. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I'm just going to make them a nice wood color, in a pleasing wood color, like a homemade chopstick wood color. Maybe it's walnut instead of oak. I don't know. I just wanted them to be kind of dark, so that's what they are. And then I'm adding shadow for the chopsticks, and I like that. And I think that helped me like the rest of the painting better. I can't explain why. I just think that's what happened. Again, I had to make that up. Chopsticks were also not in my reference photo. It was just the takeout container. So I made up the rest, and I think that's the problem sometimes with making it up. But I'm happy. I'm happy with it. You might not be able to tell, but I am happy with it. I'm now adding white gouache just to get some texture, for one, to make them appear more round, and also to, to bring the light and shadows on. That helps make them look round. But the yeah, you know what I'm saying. Wow, I feel like I'm really struggling with my words today, but I'm not doing this voiceover again. Let me know if you're still here or if you gave up 5 minutes ago or 10 or 6 minutes ago when I couldn't remember the word chopsticks. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now I'm putting in the handle. And just fine-tuning those chopsticks a little bit more. Oh, isn't Marcel so cute up there? See, you can kind of tell that they're harmonious, that the background of my current painting goes nicely with Marcel's adorable little face because it was the same colors happening. I'm really pleased with that, with how they go together. Though it would be funnier if the takeout container was in Marcel's spot, if they're swapped, and then Marcel was like lovingly looking up at the Chinese takeout. That would have been cute. All right, final touches going on. I might be fiddling a little bit more than I should, but that's okay. It's all right. Oh, I'm adding a little bit more color to them, and I really liked that. Yeah, that was good. All right, this is it. This was season 1, episode 11. Let me know in the comments what you think about this episode of Friends and my painting and my terrible voiceover skills. Give me a like and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications of newly uploaded videos because the next episode will be out soon.